where you've been on your business journey and starting again in a whole new kind of sector, if you like, or part of the industry. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yeah, so we sold the agency in December 22, and then with a new business partner decided to set up Prospector Pro, and that's evolved a crazy amount. So in the beginning, it was just for outbound calls, picking up the phone, recording them, summarising them, putting them back in your CRM. But listening to your clients, which is massively important. We're talking about, listening to our customers. It's evolved into what we call an AI-powered call intelligence and lead generation platform. Sounds very, very grand. It took us a while to come up with that. But it does all the things that you should be doing, but you don't have the time. So all the calls are recorded, summarised, put back in your CRM. We look for things you said that you forgot to say. We look for things you said that you shouldn't have said, like pressure selling, conditional selling, bad language, swear words, that sort of thing. But it gives you the sort of data and the analytics to look at how to coach and develop your team better.
And how's that been kind of going into this? Because you're building a business around lettings and sales across 11 offices, etc. But kind of stepping away from that into tech or prop tech, which I suppose it is.
It is prop tech, yeah.
What's the difference of now working in business to business in that sort of area?
It's really opened my eyes.
Go on.
Really opened my eyes. There's a lot of agents that if they didn't, put it one way, we've got a 30% no-show rate on demos when they book the demo.
Flipping out.
So when the agent wants to know about our product, we've got 30%, and that's low for the industry. It's low. So if people...
What's your first thought when you see that stat?
I am not surprised that Stephen thinks 95% of agents are terrible.
It's actually gone up to 98%.
I'm not. It's shocking.
It's a real lack of respect, isn't it, I would say?
Yeah, it's definitely lack of respect. It's lack of integrity.
Yeah.
I think. If you say you're going to... I want you, John, to spend 45 minutes out of your day, I'm going to book it in, and then I haven't even got the decency to say, I'm really sorry, mate, something's coming. Those ones I'm absolutely fine with. I get it.
What does that tell you how they're going to treat the consumers, the people that are buying and selling?
Well, it says that they're not going to be interested in the product to me, because actually the product's about improving your business, right?
Yeah.
So it's improving the way you communicate with clients and everything else. That's probably why they didn't show up, because they don't really give a shit in the nicest possible way.
Yeah, but how you do the little things is how you do everything. If you can't even turn up for that.
100%. But it's been working business to business, so there's that element, because you kind of all do, really, work business to business now, though yours isn't necessarily tech.
Definitely not.
It's technical, though, isn't it? It's technical. Do you really see a completely different side of it, and you understand why the agents are up against it and why they're perhaps not building the businesses that they set out to build from when they started?
Yeah, 100%. They get into that hamster wheel mode, and they forget about the things that matter and how to improve the team, and they kind of just focus on, right, let's do cheap fees, and they focus on the volume side of things instead of the quality side. But it all starts, and we've all said it, it's the people. It all starts with the culture in the business, and tech is there to amplify it. Yes, it will displace jobs. Yes, it will take over. But the core people that are left, but we've got a phrase: smarter tech, better people. Train and develop your team and coach your team to be better, and you will get so much more out of them.
Yeah.
When you just let them get on with it, and there you go. We'll see you in a week. Hit the targets. I'm not surprised that people aren't turning for demos or not getting the results or struggling. It's not a surprise at all.
So when you look at it, Lucy, as a business to business kind of leader, and you're in the industry, and you're dealing with a lot of people day to day who are thinking of selling or acquiring businesses, do you get a pretty quick snapshot as to who you're dealing with and their realistic viewpoints on how this kind of works, sort of stepping away from prop tech, but to maybe looking at exiting or valuing businesses? Are people kind of quite difficult in that space?
I think a lot of the time when people come to exit, they've not planned to exit, and they should be planning for at least a year, really 3 years in advance. Within 10 seconds of us opening what's called a business information form, I can tell immediately if it's a good business or not. I don't even need to look at anything else. If they've not filled in, they don't know the turnover, the breakdown of the turnover, staff numbers, you know immediately then if it's going to be a good business or not. So it's not 95%, but I'd say 70% of the businesses that we look at, and we only sell lettings and estate agency businesses, they don't know, they haven't got a handle on the figures. And so they'll say, so we have two pictures on our wall. One says circa and the other one says approx. And the amount of times I'll have on a form, I approximately turn over 500,000. Brilliant. Well, I'll approximately value your business at this. Like, what? You know, like, but genuinely, they don't know the turnover of their business. They don't know what they've turned over. They might know you're either an estate agent or a letting agent, I think. Okay. And I got told very early on in my career, it's a bit crude, but estate agency is like a one night stand and lettings is like a long-term relationship. And actually, if you look at it like that, but again, you're either an estate agent and you're focused on sales and they've fallen into lettings by default, or the same this other way. If you've been a letting agent first and you've become an estate agent, they tend to have more processes and systems because they're more methodical and they've followed a process. Whereas estate agents that have become letting agents, sometimes it's just we've had to do it because it's, you know, it's what's going to be the value in our business moving forward, but they've never really put the focus in. So for me, obviously, I was a buyer before I launched Atomic. So I'd always been on the other side, and I always thought
that's quite useful to someone selling, though, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I knew then what buyers need to see in terms of the information, and that's why I was getting frustrated with other brokers in the industry, is they weren't presenting the information the right way. But actually, now I'm on the other side, I can understand, because we've got a business at the moment
like
that we've been working for 3. We're ready to, but I cannot get all of the figures, and I'm like, I'm not launching it until we know exactly, because as soon as I put it to market, all the buyers are going to ask all of these questions, and if we can't answer them, we're going to reflect. Not that, but I won't even be able to negotiate a good deal on your behalf.
Or the deal changes.
So I think for anyone that's watching as an estate agency of any business, the one thing is getting your figures in order and understanding, working with your accountant and understanding the breakdown of your financials. But going on to kind of the prop tech side, the amount of businesses that we see that have got so much tech in their business, but they don't know how to use it, so they're not using it. So we had one, and I'll give it as an example. There's one business at the moment that've got 3 CRM systems. They're paying for 3 because they like the estate agency in one, they like the property management in the other, and they like the front end lettings on another. So yes, okay, some people say there isn't one CRM system that does everything, but actually if you work with your suppliers, have you got that supplier to come in and train your team on that system? Have you made your team go on a webinar to understand what it happens? Do you know that there's plugins that can do client reconciliation, like, you know, pay prop and all of these things? There are things out there that can systemize and make it better. And so it's like what Jean-Paul said, is they might actually have the tech, but they don't know how to use it, and they're not using it effectively. So they'll say, oh yeah, I've got this and I've got that and I've got this, but actually if you're not going to use it properly, then it's pointless.